We are live, so we have the pleasure today. We will talk about studying in France, and especially at the ESC Clermont. We have the pleasure to be with Anne-Pat, who is director of the undergraduate programs at the group ESC Clermont, and Mohamed Elzayadi, who is in charge of the international relations and business development. So thank you very much for being with us today. We are live, so don't hesitate to ask you questions if you have any questions. And so I will give you, you can start, and yeah, you will introduce the school and what we will talk about today. Thank you very much for to both of you to be here today, and let's talk about studying in France.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Nice to meet you.
Hello, everyone. Thanks very much for having us today. Clermont, it's a pleasure to be here with you today with Anne-Pat. And yeah, we are very glad to present information related to studying in France, ESC Clermont Business School in particular, and then to answer any questions that would be there. So I guess we could start by sharing our screen.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Just give me 1 second. We should be able to see the screen right now, right?
Yeah, we have it and it's full screen. Thank you, Mohamed.
Let me just deactivate the subtitles. Yeah, perfect. So to start with, we are going to explain the benefits that are related to studying in France and the advantages that it represents. So the first point, quality of education. So France is highly considered as one of the most popular and reputable destinations when it comes to higher education, thanks to the accredited institutions and to the certifications and to the international recognition that the higher education institutions in France have. So that's the first point. Secondly, coming to France is a unique opportunity to discover a new culture, to get to learn a new language, to learn more about the French history and its rich culture. And that's, of course, besides the educational journey that the students would have. Another point is building an international network. So we welcome students. That's something that we're going to see in the second slide. We welcome students for so many places. So it's a unique opportunity for the students to make connections with other classmates coming from everywhere, and even international professors coming from so many different countries and regions of the world. And finally, when it comes to studying in France, so there are lots of subsidies when it comes to French higher education. So it means that the cost of education is relatively lower than the United States, thanks to the initiatives that are taken by the French government to make higher education more accessible both to French and international students. So those are some key facts and figures related to our institution. So we have more than 2,000 students. We are a very international institution. We have 32% of our students that are coming from abroad. It's a very diverse student mixture. We have more than 60 nationalities. We have 3 international accreditations. So the American accreditation, ACSB, AMBA, and EFMD. Very few institutions in the world are recognized by those 3 quality labels. We are going to see later the student associations. So we have associations that are focused on sports, culture, integration of international students, and so many other activities to make sure that that the students enjoy the life on campus. We have an international network of more than 130 partner universities located abroad. So students, they could go for exchange or double degree, and that's something that we're going to represent later as well. So we have also good connection with the corporate world, more than 600 partner companies to help our students secure internships, apprenticeships, and job contracts. And we are also proud to have graduated more than 16,000 graduates that are located in more than 120 different countries. So those are, let's say, the key figures of our business school. Briefly speaking, those are the, let's say, the major attraction points of ESC Clermont Business School, being a highly international school when it comes to the faculty, when it comes to the student mixture. So we'll have professors coming from so many different countries, from Germany, from Vietnam, from Iran, from various other countries as well. In terms of the student mixtures, we have students coming from China, coming from Lebanon, coming from Nigeria, coming from so many spots. So those are only a couple of names. And our programs are recognized by the French Ministry of Higher Education, which is the highest recognition in France. We are also part of the CGE network, which is the Conférence des Grandes Écoles, which is an elite network that groups business schools and engineering schools in France. And of course, so the American students, they are familiar with the AACSB in particular, since it's an American accreditation, but we also have other quality labels. So what are we able to offer our students? We're able to offer all the support, all the help, all the coaching, all the guidance that they may need in order to succeed both academically and professionally speaking. So the courses, they are highly dynamic. They rely on learning by doing. We have some professors that have a PhD degree, while others that are coming from the business world. And finally, we have a big network of partner universities. As we said earlier, more than 130 partners over the world, with Kansas University in the States, with FIU, Florida International University, and with a couple of other partnerships in the States, but also in all parts of the world. So moving on to the next point. So now I'm happy to give the word to Anne to present the program itself.
Yes, hello everybody. So yes, I'm at the head of the programs in the school, and tonight I'm especially going to make a focus on our undergraduate program, so the Bachelor in International Management, which is one of the program I'm going to present you. As Mohamed just mentioned, so we are constantly ranked as one of the best bachelor programs in France. We also decided to have a unique learning approach, and we try to involve and to mix pedagogic immersion, some project, and as he mentioned, some learning by doing experience. Well, our bachelor is really focused on international profile, and we try to mix this international profile also with professionalization in France or abroad. And the focus on international, it's made not only on the third year, but we begin the first year with a summer school. The second year, we have a full semester abroad in the year 2. And then the last year, we have a lot of opportunities, double degree, exchange for a semester, or international track in Clermont-Ferrand. I think the school is already really student-oriented. We have this approach because we really focus on the personal development. We try to give individualized support and guidance. Just as an example, this week is the first week for students, and they have a very, let's say, original approach with a welcome week, and they're supposed to work collectively during more than 1 week, and then each team is going to work and have as a target the organization of a talent show in let's say middle of October. So it's also a way to make them learn how to work collectively, but also how to manage some new project for them. So that's the main point for this part. For sure, it's 100% in English, but you also have a mixed track, French and English, or 100% French. So we have different kind of classes, French, mixed, and 100% in English. Yes, I just mentioned the fact that we really international oriented. So we have the chance to have a lot of destination and partnership. We have more than 20 double degree possibilities. We have more than 50 exchange possibilities, and a lot of choices, because the students are going to build their own track. It's going to depend on their personality, their decision to go abroad, to go in Europe, to go far away, try to do a full semester or stay in France. So we're going to as we mentioned, with this personal profile guidance, we try to make their own track. As I just mentioned before, I think we can say that we're really targeting two kind of experiences. First of all, international one, and we just mentioned it, and also professionalization. I think that maybe the DNA of this school is try to have this mix, and we try to integrate our international students in the French professional world. So to do that, we have the chance to have a career lab. The career lab is completely dedicated to some specific modules. So these modules are going to give all the students all the skills they need to have in order to search internship, for example, or later on apprenticeship if they're fluent in French. And we have a dedicated team also that's going to help them in their career development and seek internship or apprenticeship, and also to be able to join the French professional world. We really focus on the French as foreign language with a rich immersion in make it able to have an effective communication and to develop their own networking in France. And moreover, we have the chance to have a very dynamic association of graduates. We call it alumni. And I think they're really useful for students, French or international, because it's a very valuable networking with a lot of mentorship, and they really help us with the recruitment, the support, and at the head of the alumni, we have one French graduate who's living right now in the United States, and so he really understands or volunteer to develop the network and try to give all our students, French or international, the best professional opportunity. So we have another recent program which name is the Bachelor in Digital Marketing and E-commerce. I guess you know, and you just maybe observed that digital marketing is everywhere. So 3 years ago, we decided to open this program. It's a real need for our company in France, but also abroad. They really are waiting for these students with a high level profile in digital marketing. This track is open for those students who have already completed 2 years of undergraduate studies, because the last year is going to be an international track. They will have also opportunities to have a track abroad, 6 months abroad, and then internship in France. But this track is, I think, it's an answer to the need of our partners, and searching urgently these highly profiled students. So our students in this track are going to be prepared to, for sure, business ethic, personal branding, and they're going to work with all the skills and the tools you need to have in digital. They're going to work on data analysis. They're going to develop the skills in storytelling, UX design, well, all the tools you need to have in order to be specialized in this field. Just as an example, we are going to send our French students within 2 weeks in Dublin, have this international digital week, because we want them really to be close to the need and to develop their network and see how the major digital companies are recruiting students. So, well, two, if I just summarize, so we have two types of programs. The first one is the Bachelor International Management with two objectives, try to develop their international spirit and experience abroad in Europe or let's say other destination, and with also focusing with this professionalization experience, and then we have another one which is much more recent and focus on being professionalized in this field. Regarding student life.
Regarding the student life, so you see, coming to our business school, it's of course a unique opportunity, like we said, to grow academically and professionally, but it's also an important occasion to to meet students from all over the student experience. So we have associations that regularly organize events that are focusing on sports, so rugby, football, basketball. Our basketball team is quite tough. They won the French championship a couple of times already. So you see, there are lots of sports activities that the students can be part of. Lots of integration events that the school organizes through its student union. So for example, tomorrow, all the students are invited. We have 900 students that are invited to a camp in the south of France, you see, to have them do team building activities and to get to know each other and to get, to witness an environment that is different from the school. And lots of other, unique occasions to build connections and to enjoy the student experience. And many also activities that are outside, of course, of their studies. So the city of Clermont-Ferrand, it's quite an active student city. It's located right in the center of France. So it's easy to travel around. We know the distances in the States are huge. So you see, moving around in Europe, it's a lot easier due to the proximity that our city has with Paris. Going to Geneva, you see, it's 312 kilometers away. The students, they can go to Barcelona. There are cheap flights, low-cost flights, also to other European cities and capitals. So it's an occasion also to get to discover Europe, which is something that the American students also get to benefit from. High quality of life, so transportation. The campus is right in the center of the city, so the students, they live around the campus. They don't need to commute. So you see, it's a very different culture from what they're used to in the States, and the students, they really appreciate that. We're also very close to the nature, so there are lots of lakes around, lots of mountains, lots of hiking activities, lots of ski stations in the winter. So there is really a lot which is happening, and it's a very safe city, so we don't have any security issues, and that is why we're consistently ranked as one of the best student cities in the entire France. And the cost of living is quite affordable compared to other bigger cities such as Paris, for example. And we talked about the events on campus, but also there are lots of events and hangouts and activities organized outside the campus. So the City Hall organizes a special night where they invite international students to get to visit the City Hall and have a word with the mayor of Clermont to welcome them. There is also there are lots of concerts. There is a big music festival in Clermont that happens over the summer. So it's a very, entertaining environment for the students.
And also we have to mention that Clermont-Ferrand is a place where sport is so important, because we have a big rugby club, which name is ISAM. It's normally a European championship, a French championship member. And we have also a soccer, very well known in the highest league. So, well, for those who are like sports and they can enjoy and go to stadiums, so it's also a place where you can practice sport and enjoy sports.
The past 3 years, we also had the Tour de France, the cycling competition that passed through Clermont for the past 2 years. So you see, it's a city that is very involved in sports and other activities. So as Anne talked about ASM, so we have a photo of one of the big
Yellow Army.
Yeah, what we call the Yellow Army, the big supporters of the team that is very successful in Europe. We are also famous for hosting the headquarters of Michelin, one of the global players and one of the most strategic partners when it comes to ESC Clermont Business School. Then we can see one of the main squares, which is called Place de la Victoire or Victory Square, which is 5 minutes away from the campus. And then we can see around the natural areas that are located all around Clermont. And of course, on YouTube, you can get to familiarize yourself with the campus through the different videos that we host, or also the videos of the city of Clermont. So when it comes to the application process, so we have a simplified online process for international students, and our admissions teams are, of course, mobilized to help the students throughout the entire journey, how to apply, sampling the different documents, preparing for the interview, which course to choose, which kind of major. So we will be accompanying the students in every single step of the journey. And after the enrollment, when it comes to finding accommodation, we have a partnership with a company that helps them regarding the same. And then when they come to the school, of course, they get to benefit from everything that we have detailed. We have one main intake per year in September. The tuition fees, we have also different scholarships that you can consult on our website. And I'm guessing we hope that we covered the majority of the details. Of course, if you have any further questions related to the bachelor program, related to the program that is focusing more on marketing, the third-year program, we remind you that both offers are fully available in English. You don't need to know French in advance. So if you have any questions about our programs, our business school, studying in France in general, we're extremely happy to to answer your questions and to help you out through the entire process. So those are our contact details that you will find on the screen. My number is also available on WhatsApp, so the students, they can easily get in touch. So thank you very much, Clermont. I don't know if you want to add something, perhaps ask us some questions related to what we have presented so far.
Absolutely. Thank you very much to both of you for this rich presentation. I'm sure it inspired our international students to come and study at the ESC Clermont. So yeah, we today have a couple of questions. For international students, are they eligible to a scholarship?
Yes, so we have different options to support them. We have a foundation, the foundation of ESC Clermont. So through our network of alumni plus the partner companies, we receive financial support that we are able to use to support, our students financially. So they could expect reductions or scholarships between 5% and 15%. Another major point also to keep in mind is that the duration of the bachelor program is 3 years, contrary to 4 years in the States. So you see, economically speaking, it's a lot more interesting for them to proceed with a bachelor degree in France.
Maybe we can mention also that our bachelor program has got a 2-level, we can say, got a visa and is a graded program. What does it mean? It means that once you finish your bachelor, the students can just apply everywhere, French university, abroad, another university, because this highest recognition gives a lot of opportunities afterwards. Can stay in France, do the master in a school, go in another place, but the fact that we have this visa en grade, we call it visa en grade, it's also a good way to benefit on the highest quality and highest level.
Yes, and some of the students, the majority of our students that finish the 3 years, they prefer to stay within Clermont to pursue a master's degree because, as you probably know, Clermont in France and Europe in general, the students, they prefer not to wait, to have a gap between their studies. So they get done with the bachelor's and they pursue the master's degree. But we also have some examples of international students or French students. When they finish the bachelor's program for 3 years, they are easily finding permanent employment in Clermont itself or in Paris, on the bigger cities. So for those who want to stay even post their studies, we have this dedicated career center that Anne talked about that could help them, and we have a couple of American students that were able, to do an apprenticeship or at least an internship in Michelin or in other international companies, but that are having this local the local contact within Clermont itself.
And also maybe we can mention that it is very easy for a student who wants to benefit from French language FLE courses. We have a lot of hours of French lessons in the first year, second year. So a student that really focus on learning French, it just can benefit from our classes. And then even we have some example of some international students that are going to apply for an apprenticeship track in the third year. So also ways to reduce the fees, because the company is paying for your studies, but you need to be more or less fluent in French to get this apprenticeship. Because normally the companies around, they could have some exception, but normally they're French, companies.
Okay, cool. When you talk about the apprenticeship, that's the work and study programs, right?
Yes, that's a program that combines studies and working at the same time. So the students, I guess, they spend around 3 weeks inside the company
and 1 week in school.
Okay, we actually had a question about that. What are the conditions to access to these internship programs?
So we have to mention, maybe it's going to be clear if I explain really how it works. The first year, the students it's a mandatory 2 months of internship. Second year, they have 5 months of internship, which is quite long already. So it means that after 2 years, they already have 7 months of professional experience. And then during the second semester of the year 2, they have the choice, it depends on the level in French, to apply for apprenticeship track. Then they're going to have to receive some help from the career lab, from all the team working on this field. And some of the companies are really interested also to have this international profile. The only thing is that they need to have some skills in French to communicate with the other members of the company. So, but it's completely able. It's open. It depends on the level of French.
Okay, thank you. And we also have another question asking if you can give more precisions and details about the admission process.
Yes, so you see, Clermont, we have an application portal that's going to be active starting from the first week of January. And we encourage the students also to plan in advance and anticipate and not wait, you see, for the last moment to send their application files. So they're able to send us their application through this link on our website. We ask them for different documents such as their CV, motivation letter, reference letters from professionals or professors, last degree that they obtained, any other supporting materials that shows that they have done extracurricular activity, and so on and so forth. So that is the first step. And then they're required to do an online interview. We have an AI platform where they get to do an automated interview as a first level of screening. And then there could be also a supplementary, let's say, Skype interview with a member of the faculty or the head of the program. So that is how the process works. And of course, we are engaged to facilitate the process for the students. So like I said, we could advise them about which orientation to take. So a lot of American students, you see, they are not familiar with the CV template in France. So they ask us, okay, because they have the habit of perhaps submitting an abstract CV, whereas in France, for applying for a program, for example, that is related to marketing, the format needs to perhaps be more appealing. So you see, hints and advice like that to boost their chances also of admission and make sure that they understand the French system before they reach.
They can also, as they have a contact, they also can write to us and just say, okay, I'm thinking about joining you, but so give me some more details about the programs, how it works. Well, there is no problem to answer them and have a time, even a meeting, or online meeting or quick Zoom or Skype or WhatsApp communication. Well, as we mentioned, I think our DNA is to be very close to our students. So it means that we're close to them when they arrive, but we can also have this direct approach, when they're overseas and abroad.
Okay, great. And could you also describe the typical profile of students who succeed in this program and the kind of career opportunities they get after the graduation?
Yes. So we have a big mix of profile in this first year. They just arrived last week, so I know them more or less, but as I mentioned, we have a majority of French students for sure, but we have maybe two groups, of international students. And within this group, we have some French students that are really willing to have all the track in English. So in the same class, you're going to mix some French students with a high level of English and international students, which make it very interesting to have this group. Somebody is going to succeed in this kind of program is let's say one student who is interested in, let's say, global approach, who likes to work collectively, have some oral presentation, and then regarding the let's say the main courses or modules, they're going to learn management, they're going to learn marketing, they're going to work on statistics, they're going to work on the second year human resources. So they're going to work on all these topics, which is linked to management. And so there is not a unique profile. I think it's much more the spirit of a student that who wants to benefit from the global environment with this challenge of searching internship or communicating or being involved in a student life association. It's also their experience. So I always say to students that you're going to build up your own track regarding your own competencies and who you are. So there are personal development module, there are what we call Make Sense module, which is the courses which is going to help them to find to do a curriculum, to how to present yourself. So we're working all of these skills. Maybe parents have to know that nowadays the students who are going to succeed is the one who's going to learn not only academic courses, but develop their soft skills. So we are focusing a lot on soft skills. How you present yourself, what are the professional tools skills you need to have. And I think that make it, that's why they're going to succeed. So we have some students who are struggling with some calculations or statistics, and otherwise, other one who are just struggling with oral presentation, but we are here to guide them and to make them learn all these kind of skills. So there is not a unique profile, but they're all coming from high school, or students, French, they're between 17 and 19 years old. Some of them just repeat a year from university and want to change. So they're quite young when they join the undergraduate program. So we have to, build them and try to help them to find their own track, their own way. That's why we just mentioned that we're really focused on their personal development and the human side of the school we are, make it able to do.
Okay, great, thank you. Another quick question, how does the school ensure that the curriculum remains up to date and relevant to an ever-changing demands of international business landscape?
Yes, you're right. You're right to ask this question, because it's one of my main purpose and main job also. I'm at the head of all the programs right now. So I'm not dealing with, the modules or academic life by myself. So we work collectively. We work also being linked to the research of a PhD teachers we have. We're going to be linked to the professional, let's say, lecturers are professional and also expert in some of the company. of partnership, and we try to be very linked to the market, the job market. So what are the needs of the companies right now? So we have some committee, we call it expert committee, and we have a meeting each year. And in this meeting, for example, we have one in the sport business track, and we held this kind of a meeting once a year, and we ask all the members of this expert committee, okay, what are the needs right now? What kind of profile are you looking for? And then we're going to build up also and change maybe some of the modules. And for example, right now we're going to work a lot about artificial intelligence. We try to see what we're going to do with that, and we try to work with maybe developing the data analysis approach. And so we have to always be linked to what happens, because otherwise we're not going to train well our students. So that's how it works. But that's also my job, to be sure that the expectation of the companies and the market are going to be respected.
Okay, and maybe we can finish with that last question. Could you provide insights into the program's approach to fostering a diverse and inclusive learning environment for students from various backgrounds?
So you see, like we mentioned, Clermont, so from day one already they're mixed, you see, with all the other students. So that is the purpose of this welcome week, is to get them, you see, to do team building activities, to get them to break the ice.
Yes. Maybe I can explain, because right now we're playing this welcome week. So it's a group of 10 teachers, professional, who are knowing each other very well, because I've been working on this welcome week since 5 or 6 years, and it's something very special belonging to our school. Means that we're going to have 210 students all together. And the first day, so we have ice-breaking activities for sure, but then we say, okay, now everybody here has a specific talent or competency, and we're going to work with your talents and competencies. And then we organize some of them are going to work with some communication skills. They're going to do all the communication around this event. Some other one are going to work on what we call production. They're going to make the videos, so that they came in office, and they're going to reveal the coach. They're going to reveal the head of the program and make some videos. And then the other ones, we have artists. So artists are going to just to deliver their own talent. And so we have players, we have dancers, we have people playing music. And so the focus and the objective is to organize all together a specific events for the parents, which is called the talent show. And that's the purpose of the Welcome Week. And it's something very special. It's like a specific mission we have. And then they're really proud, and I think they're going to gain confidence by organizing by themselves. They're going to organize the cocktail. They have a specific Instagram, which is called Talent Show. So, well, they're working on all the, let's say, the skills they're supposed to get for the first year. Is it clear? Maybe
it's clear, and yeah, it's inspiring. So thank you very much. I don't know if you want to add maybe something, last few words.
No, I think if we're saying let's mention one advice maybe to give to the students, you see, to our future students, because you asked about the typical profile, is to be open, you see, to want to discover, to want to get to know people from everywhere, get to witness a different style of teaching than the one that is back home, get to have new experiences. You see, that is the most interesting thing for us. Being ready to learn French, you see, even if we have a track in English, but still it's important when you're moving abroad.
And maybe we can just finish and by saying that we're working also on our mission and on our values. And I think in our values, I always said when I welcome all the students and from the different track, I always say, okay, don't forget, you have to be involved. You have to have this mindfulness and be nice with the other. And you have to be agile and engaged in what you do. So I think that's the values we try to also to develop. And that's it, I think.
And that's great. So thank you very much to both of you. We will share this webinar and we'll put it on a replay. So, and we will share also your contacts. So yeah, students and parents can contact you directly to ask questions.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you again for this webinar.
Thank you, Clément.
Thank you, and hope you had a good time. And yes, we will see you on Frenchly.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Clément.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.